Hello everyone. Today I'm going to show you my favorite art supplies, the ones that I use the most and the ones that I really enjoy. Before we get into it, I'd like to thank all my subscribers. My channel is super new, but I already have over 100 subscribers, and I'm super grateful to have you all here to share with. I'm going to start off with my brushes, which I keep in this brush roll from Artist's Loft. It's a really simple brush roll and has a nice elastic to keep everything together. Most of my brushes are watercolor brushes, even when I'm using gouache or different types of paint. I just really like the quality. And my favorite brand is probably simply Simmons. It's a cheap brand, but I find that the brushes work really well for me without breaking the bank on $15 brushes. These are the brushes that I use the most. The first is a oval wash brush, which I use for my big washes. A angled brush for smaller, a Taklon Filbert, which I really love, and then two very small round brushes. And I'll have the names of these in the description below. My favorite paint by far is gouache, which is a water-based paint, and I've been using it for around 3 years now, and I don't have any intention of stopping. I have gouache in two brands. They're Winsor & Newton and M. Graham & Co. These are the only brands that I can buy locally. I know there's other brands like Daler Rowney or Holbein, but for regular gouache, it's only these two brands for me, and I find that they're really high quality, and even though they're sort of expensive, they last me a long time, and I really enjoy them. My next favorite paint is watercolor, and I use this quite a lot. And often interchangeably and with my gouache. I find that if I do my underpainting in watercolor, the pigment is more permanent, and so your underpainting won't lift as much as if you did it with gouache. There are so many brands of watercolor paints, and I buy mine in Daniel Smith, Winsor & Newton, and M. Graham & Co. Nothing against any brands I haven't tried, but I really enjoy these, and they're quite consistent. I especially have really been liking the Daniel Smith lately. I also have a set of Casein paint. Casein is a very different kind of paint from gouache or watercolor, although similar in some ways in that it's fairly matte, but it is milk-based actually, and I recommend watching some of James Gurney's videos on Casein because he's an incredible teacher and really knows his stuff when it comes to these paints. I get them in the brand Jack Richeson, and that's the only brand I've found that produces Casein paint that I can get here in Canada easily. I keep my pencils in this cool hard case that I got at a local art store, and this is really nice and definitely beats a bigger pencil case because they're not rolling around making everything dirty. I love this pencil case so much and I feel so fancy using it. The two main types of pencils that I like the most are the Blackwing pencils. I like the original kind, and these are the mass-produced ones. And I also like the Prismacolor Col-erase pencils. Since these are waxy, I love them for paintings because they don't smudge as much, and they come in a variety of colors that can really enhance the painting rather than deaden it. And just a quick note on pencil sharpeners and erasers. I keep them in this little pouch to keep everything clean and keep shavings in if they escape. Both my sharpener and my erasers are from Staedtler, and I find that these are the best. The kneaded erasers are really soft and malleable. I've had some from Winsor & Newton that were like rock hard and didn't work so well, and the sharpener makes things super sharp. What more do you need? These are my portable papers and sketchbooks. This first one is a Pentalic Aqua journal. I really love these. I think they're comparable to the Moleskine watercolor journals, but I like the paper in these Pentalic ones more. As you can see, it's got a really nice grain to it, and the back side of each page is a little bit different, so you can kind of pick and choose what texture you want for each sketch. I also really enjoy this fluid watercolor paper pad in the cold press finish. I've got a painting on the go here, but I'll show you the texture on these. It's also really nice, and the fact that it's sealed on two sides keeps it from curling the paper. And then the sketchbooks that I'm using right now, I'm not too picky about. This is sort of a generic brand, but the paper's pretty good. It's got tons of pages, and that helps me be less precious with the drawings as I would be if I was using a moleskin that has fewer pages for a higher price. And when I'm doing finished illustrations for clients or for other projects, I stretch my watercolor paper on a watercolor board with some butcher's tape, very old school. This is some 90-pound smooth arches, and I like smooth because then the texture of the paper doesn't interfere with my scanning. I also like to use these watercolor boards that are like illustration board but are watercolor paper, and they actually take the paint really well, so I like that too. I hope you enjoyed this video. I tried to keep it short, sort of an overview of the products I use the most, but if you have any questions or you'd like to know anything more in depth, feel free to ask me in the comments. I can answer there, or maybe I'll make a video about it in the future. I hope you have a great, relaxing, productive, whatever kind of day you want to have, and please like and subscribe if you haven't already. I'll see you in the next video. Bye!